look at my YouTube. Okay, I should be logged in on there. Just turn to me. Hey everyone, we're just logging in. I'm trying to log into my YouTube here so I can get both on my screen. There we go. Okay, there's a little bit of a delay here, which is fine. Perfect. Okay, we're going to just wait a couple more seconds. I'm not getting... Okay, so I'm going to try my best to take a look at your questions. So I'm not getting questions on YouTube for some reason, but I am on my Instagram. So it seems like I can get questions asked on my Instagram, but my YouTube isn't showing the thing. Is it showing it on the phone or no? Okay, that's fine. Let's see if I can just make it small. Okay, I don't think it shows anything. Okay, so welcome everyone to Bonifabcustom. And we're gonna have a shop tour for everyone. Just gonna turn down my volume here. There we go, bear with me. This is the first time I'm doing both YouTube and Instagram at the same time. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's take a quick look. If you see my videos, I'm gonna kind of touch on some of the places that I film and I work at, like over here on my welding table. I do a lot of the sketches for my knives and for my projects on this table. I built it a while back. It actually is a removable table, so it has two places you can work at, and the tables itself are adjustable. They're electronically adjustable up and down, so if you're standing, you can raise it up, or if you're sitting doing a project, you can put it down. I made this table originally for making trailers, so we can bring it out to the main floor and put a chassis or the actual frame of the trailer across both sides and work on both sides at the same time. So let me just take a look. Perfect. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the machinery. Just in recent videos, we've been doing a little bit more CNC machining. I'm originally a CNC machinist. Now I just teach a pre-apprenticeship program and an apprenticeship program for machinists. That's what I do on a regular basis. So I really haven't done much as in machining for my knives until recently. So now I'm going to incorporate a lot of that, the CAD design and some knife making stuff on my CNCs, because I'd like to teach ones on my YouTube channel about that. So let's go take a look. of my lathes here, Moriseki, that has a dual spindle. I've been working on this for a long time. I also have another lathe, CNC lathe on the other side there. I don't know if you can see that. And I have some milling machines in the back there that I have a couple of 4th axis machines that I can do an A axis while machining. One of them has full 4th axis capability. And then you've seen me working on this little lathe here. So on this little lathe, I like to do smaller parts, maybe brass. I've done actually wood on there for handles and things like that. And I work on this mainly for smaller parts because I have another lathe that I work on my bigger parts with. So let's go take a look at some of the fab stuff that we have. Also, I mentioned my Tig Welders on this side. So I have a Miller 280DX that I use for a lot of the TIG welding I do. Either it's steel, stainless, aluminum, and titanium. I do a lot of titanium exhausts and things like that, and hopefully I'm going to be doing some stuff like that so you can see on my YouTube channel the other things that I weld and fabricate. This saw over here, I just passed it, but this saw over here I use, it's a roll-in saw, and I've been using that for years. You see me cut a lot of my Damascus and things like that on this saw, so I use it on a regular basis. Also, I have this older horizontal milling machine that I use. I haven't done any recent videos on it, so. And then, actually, I'll show you the little mini bike, the one we made that was powered by the Milwaukee drill. It's just there. Now it's on display. I actually had to take the Milwaukee drill off of it because I actually only have one drill, so I needed to actually use it for drilling some holes. But turned out great, worked. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend it. I had to take some of my bikes and stuff and put them up to get them off of the shop floor because I'm a hoarder and I just keep everything. So that's just an old race bike that I actually crashed a few years back. So I just put it up there to collect dust. This is my main forge that I use for making my Damascus. I use it for heat treating, also the knives I make. I have an older forge in the back there. That's a 3-burner forge that I'm gonna, on a video now, I'm gonna try and convert it to the ribbon burner. And those are the ribbon burners that I make, and I've showed you on one of my YouTube channel, one of my YouTube videos of the ribbon burner forge, and that's the one that I actually use. I used it for this one here for years. It's a great way to heat up quickly and very efficiently when you're making Damascus steel. And then I have my quench tank on the side here. A lot of times I'm showing that in my videos. Sometimes you won't see the whole thing because it's up close and I'm just here myself. I actually do all my videos on my phone. So I do them completely on my phone. Most of the time it's just by myself, and I'll do the video and then I'll edit it using the software that my phone comes with. And hopefully one day I can do them a little better, hopefully. So over here, I have my anvil. I have another anvil over there. Also another press. So that's the forging press that I made a few weeks back on my YouTube channel. And I showed you how to make that. And I use that also to do some specialized stuff. I have different dies for it that I can work the metal and forge it with that special press. As you can see, I have a lot of stock. I've collected stock. I've been in business for many years, and I've collected a lot of metal and aluminum and stainless and things like that from different jobs. So I've collected it, so I always try and do projects using the material I have. Over here, some of my Mig Welders. So I have two Mig Welders I use. One of them always runs on stainless steel, and the other one runs on just steel. So I just use either or, so I don't have to change spools or gas or things like that. That's mainly the main reason why I have two different, or the same welder, but they have two different spools in it, or two different wires and gas. Over here on this granite table, I do some bending, so manual bending. I have a Curvatubi manual bender. It actually has a manual attachment to it that I can put on there, and also I have a smaller bender that I bend, say, flat bar or things like that with. And then I have another bender that I do anything from roll cages to ornamental tube bending. This one also has like a manual attachment, so when it bends the tube, they come out perfect. The radius is perfect on it. It could be used both ways, so you can put a manual attachment to it on it, or take it off and just use it as it is there. And then I have my milling machine that I use for a lot of things. I mainly use it, or I've shown myself using it for when I make a Damascus steel blank. I will clean off the slag or clean off the impurities off of it, and then it just makes it easier instead of grinding it all, things like that. And then I have a power hammer. Now, I think I've showed more videos on my Instagram using the power hammer, not lately with my YouTube because it's more new. But I will be doing a special project coming up. It's another type of blade. I'm not going to give too much away, but it's going to be a great project, and I will be using my power hammer a lot more for the steel that I'll be making for that project. Then I have my Scotchman iron worker, which is great. It's been a great machine for me. It does everything from, as you've seen on my videos, it does shearing, it punches holes, and I also have an attachment that I do my forge pressing with, right? So, because it's a 60 ton, it has a lot of pressure, so I can take this off and I put on basically a block of metal. And that's where I will forge out and make my Damascus with my with my Scotchman iron worker. So it's been a great machine, and I use it all the time. A lot of things you see me cut, especially steel. If you want to cut steel quickly, especially tubing, things like that, I use this Metal Devil. It's a great saw that I use for, well, I use it 90% of the time. And unless I'm doing something that's really thick, some thick metal, then I'll use my bandsaw for it. So let's just take a look. Then I have things like my oxyacetylene and my homemade sandblasting unit. It actually only houses glass beads, so I use it for cleaning stuff. The video I did on what was that, the plane I made, I actually cleaned the plane up with that sandblaster, or not the sandblaster, it's actually the glass bead, and that's what I use that sandblast with. I also have a kiln that I use for heat treating. I use it for annealing, say knives, things like that. Comes in very handy. This is the project I did a little while back also. The project of the pantograph plasma table. So I have a plasma machines underneath, my plasma cutters, And then this is the table and the arms I made, and I kind of showed that demonstration on my video. But if you're interested in it, you can take a look at that video. This is just a little project I'm actually working on right now. I don't want to give too much about it. It's made out of really thick metal. It's going to be used, well, I can't say what it's going to be used, but you'll see it on an upcoming video shortly. Some of my other projects that I worked on over the years, I've done a lot of motorcycles. That's a motorcycle I built for a bike show. It's actually a Ducati motor that I built the frame and the exhaust and the front end and the body work and things like that. So I like to do a number of different types of fabrication. If it comes to, I've done carbon fiber, fiberglass, mold making, things like that. I just love every type of fabrication there is. And you'll see it as I start showing different parts, different videos of different projects that I make. Hopefully you're gonna join and subscribe, and then you'll have the access to see all this stuff that I make. So this is some of the other fab stuff I do, the sheet metal fab. We're going to be working on a bike very soon. We're going to be building another motorcycle, and I'm going to be doing a chassis, but I'm going to build all aluminum bodywork. So I'm going to show you how I fabricate it, how I English wheel, use the English wheel, my stretcher, my shrinker, and really make some cool contours out of aluminum with my bodywork. Again, this is just the bandsaw and some sanding stuff and just stuff everywhere. Up there is some other, you can see, so fire brick for making kilns. I have material up there, and I also keep in stock my ribbon burners that I build, or the ones that I show how I build on my YouTube channel. Like those yellow rims? Okay, so let's go towards the office there. I have some other machinery on that side that I use. You see me use it on my YouTube channel. I do a lot of turning, especially on the mini bike that I made. I did a lot of the turning of the hubs and things like that on that lathe. It's an old Colchester. Great machine, older machine, but lots of power. Great machine for turning. And there's my coffee maker. And there's more metal, and I have another CNC here that we're just getting up and running. Okay, don't mind the disaster. I'm going to show you a little bit of my office where I do my CAD. I also have, if you haven't watched my Mandalorian yet, let me just watch my stuff here because there's stuff everywhere. My collection, nuts and bolts, because I'm constantly using stuff for fabrication, making things, and I always like to have that kind of stuff on hand. So this is the gist of my office. It's crammed, but I love it. I do my CAD stuff here for my CNC machines. I also program for my 3D printers. I have a bunch of, old knives and stuff like that that I have made. I made an Iron Man mask, and here you can see the Mandalorian Blaster. It's on my wall. It's basically just a piece of art that I keep up there. If you haven't seen the build, it's on my YouTube channel also. It's really was an awesome build, and if you want to see the details of how I built all the pieces, it's all made out of metal except for the stock, and it was an awesome build. So let's go take a look outside again. We're gonna go and see. Let me just squeeze through here. That's some of the wood I have for handles. There's a whole bunch more. But stuff is like... Whoop. Watch your stuff. So let's go sit down. We're going to take a look at what my giveaways are. And hopefully one of you watchers can, or one of you subscribers can win something. Whoa. Watch your stuff there too. So this is basically, this is the desk that I do a lot of my sketches and drawings and things like that. There's a lot of, it's not a girl, it's a friend of mine. Okay, so we have a couple of giveaways, well, not a couple, we have actually a whole bunch of giveaways today. We are going to be giving away a throwing knife, a Serbian chef knife, and we have a bunch of different keychains. So I have some Mandalorian keychains, I have some Damascus keychains. We're going to give out a bunch of stuff to you subscribers today, which is going to be great. So we're going to start off with some keychains. Okay. Whoops. So, let's see. We have Randy Galati. So Randy Galati, you won yourself a Damascus keychain. Okay, so I'll put that for you. Thank you for commenting on the last video. So thank you for commenting. We have Varun Singh. You just won yourself another Damascus keychain. Congratulations, Randy and Varun. Okay. We have S. Helms. You just won yourself a Mandalorian keychain. That was great. Okay, let's see. $13.69, buddy. You won yourself a Mandalorian keychain too. Okay. Is that okay? The camera's good.
The light.
This light? Yep. Too much?
Yep.
Let me just turn this light. Better? Oh, it's a little bit dark on Instagram. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions about the shop or things that I do? Feel free to ask. Okay, so we have another Mandalorian keychain. Rob Kalu, you won yourself another Mandalorian keychain. Rob. Okay. And we have one more. Steve, you won yourself a Mandalorian keychain also. Perfect. Okay, so now we have, let's see, somebody asked me, Off-road bumper? You never know. Sounds like a good project. No, my shirt is not Motley Crue. It's actually, can you see it now? It is what? Tell what it is. Who knows what it is? It's a superhero movie, a Marvel superhero movie. No? Guardians of the Galaxy, that's what it is. Okay. Okay, so let's give away this throwing knife. Beautiful. And yeah, you got it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Donor Cyclist, you just won yourself a throwing knife. Congratulations. Okay, now for Serbian chef knife. We made this on a video, it's got to be a few months ago now. Great knife, great for the kitchen, and it's going to be somebody out there is going to own it. So let's see who it's going to be. Claudio Pellegrino. Claudio, you're the new owner of a Serbian chef knife. Perfect. So, anybody have any questions about anything in the shop? Let me know. You can DM me on my Instagram also. But I hope that was a little bit of a little insight to the shop and how we make our videos and where we make how I make my stuff, and all the equipment I use, a little insight of that. We might do another one in a few months if we get some new equipment or new subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and thank you for all your support to all our subscribers that we have right now. And we'll see you another time. Thanks again, and I'll get back to all these people that have won. I should get back to you with an email, or if you have my email, email me directly. Thanks, guys. Thank you for the live show. Do you want to show that?